Karibuni sana katika msimu wa pili wa Ziada Travels. Kwa bahati mbaya, msimu huu haujaanza kama vile tulivyokuwa tunaotarajia kwa sababu ya janga hili kubwa ambalo limeikumba dunia la ugonjwa wa corona. Kipindi hichi basi ni maalum kwa ajili ya kuangazia na kuangalia athari za coronavirus hususan katika sekta hii ya utalii. Naitwa Ziada Abeid na hii ni Ziada Travels. Karibuni sana. Sekta ya utalii imekuwa ni sekta muhimu sana kiuchumi katika nchi nyingi duniani. Tanzania nayo imekuwa ikifanya jitihada kubwa sana katika kutangaza na kukuza sekta hii, kuongeza kipato nchini kwa kukaribisha wageni kutoka nje na pia kuwapa hamasa wananchi wake kutembelea vivutio mbalimbali vinavyopatikana hapa nchini. Lakini kwa sasa janga hili la kidunia limesababisha nchi nyingi kufunga mipaka yake kama njia mojawapo ya kudhibiti maambukizi ya virusi vya corona, jambo ambalo linatoa hofu kubwa na pengine hata kusababisha uchumi wa nchi kuathirika. Nimeongea na Pooja Lalji, mkurugenzi wa Rickshaw Travels na pia ni Honorary Secretary wa TASOTA, ikimaanisha Tanzania Society of Travel Agents.
Hi Ziada, thank you so much for having me on your show. It is absolutely fabulous.
How hard has COVID-19 or the coronavirus pandemic affected, the day-to-day of not only Rickshaw, but TASOTA as well?
It's probably the worst hit that I've ever seen in my career. I've been in this business for 19 years now. Tanzania has been hit in terms of the airline industry. Obviously, the aviation industry has had to reduce flights dramatically. And the Tanzanian government is doing everything they can. They've taken a lot of precautions. I came back a few weeks ago from a trip just around here. But even then, they were screening people at the airport with the thermal scanners, with the fever, thermometer fever scanners. They have a register with a very, well-pronounced person behind. We all say this too shall pass. And I truly believe that.
Before Corona, how was the local tourism, meaning the whole East Africa comparison to the foreign tourism?
It has been a definite challenge. Unfortunately, Corona came at a bad time because we were about to begin peak season, which is usually from June till October, which is where the Great Migration occurs. And you have, over 1.5 million wildebeest up north, crossing the Mara River and so on. So Kenya and Tanzania do tend to gain from that quite a bit. We are actually, within the airline and tourism industry, we contribute to 20% of the GDP for Tanzania, as per the last statistics that have been recorded. So it is a large chunk of change, so to speak. And at the moment, because of the situation being as fluid as possible, I think most agents have probably received more than 80 to 95% cancellations for April, May, and June alone. And this is just from people we're speaking to within the industry. Tanzanians who haven't seen their own country, and this is what I know you always encourage in your show with people, is for everyone to go out there and see. We have the most beautiful places on earth. We have the Ngorongoro Crater, we have Mount Kilimanjaro for the adventurous. We have all the different national parks, which has everything from a lake to a mountain to a hill to savanna on it. And we have down south, we've got Selous and Ruaha with the greatest bird life and nature walks that you could possibly imagine. So we've got Udzungwe, we've got the western part of Tanzania, Lake Tanganyika. So I will encourage, we are still as Rickshaw, promoting domestic tourism. We're still selling promoting all the domestic packages, obviously not outbound, but anything inbound. And we've spoken to lodges and suppliers and so on. Everyone has been super supportive in terms of decreasing their rates, especially for Tanzanian citizens. Park fees are much cheaper for citizens to travel in within East Africa in general. So I think this is a great time for domestic tourism with residents to happen. you would, I mean, how many people will go and say they went to the crater and they only saw a couple of cars around them, where normally in peak season you would see 50 vehicles around them. So this is a great time to go out and explore the country that we live in.
Just out of curiosity, have you seen anything as big as COVID-19 before? I mean, being an expert, being in this industry for 10 years plus.
Well, there was SARS and there was MERS, and there was obviously the financial crisis, in the late 1980s and early 1990s. But no, I'm going to say a very simple no. We've never really seen anything like this. I think the biggest factor here is the spread. It's how fast it can spread to other people.
How do you foresee traveling after coronavirus?
I feel as soon as this virus touches down, it may take a little while for people to gain confidence in getting out there again. But I think it's going to go out like a bang. We will recover from this. And everyone who needs to keep their head above waters will keep their head above waters. I mean, we still have a lot of positivity. And, there's a reason for everything. And I truly believe that this encourages people to look at people. It looks at yourself as a human being. It's not just about an industry or about financial gain. No country is talking about any of their problems at the moment other than this virus. So it means those problems are really not as important as something like this. And I think we all need to remember that when we come out of it. But I do believe travel will go tenfold. People will be traveling all over the place, because when you've been cooped up in a place for a long time, your shelter comes out and then the sun is like shining. So it's like rainbows. So I believe that we're going to have a big jump in the travel and tourism industry globally.
But there are those who are really itching to travel at the moment. What do you tell them? What tip or hack or advice you can give them?
So if you are happy to do exclusive safaris, for example, I know a lot of tour companies are doing the same thing, but we, for example, in the north with our vehicles, they're disinfected before and after every single trip. The drivers and the guides all wear masks and gloves accordingly. That we're taking every single precaution that we can. And as long as you're not exposed to it, which is a less likely chance that you are in the wild, to be honest, because where there's less people, you're not going to be exposed. So going out into the bush and exploring your country is the best thing you can do. I'm not going to suggest going into water or going diving in Lake Tanganyika at the moment, but definitely going into Salou, into Ruaha, in the non-rainy season, of course, because it's going to be closed soon, as well as going up north to Serengeti, to the crater, going up, hiking up Kilimanjaro. I mean, this is the cleanest air that you could possibly find right now. And travel by car, maybe not if you don't want to take the public transport or you don't want to take local airlines because of the distance between people. Drive. I mean, we have beautiful infrastructure, beautiful roads going up everywhere. Go and see the country. It's absolutely amazing.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And you are amazing, and your show is super amazing. So thank you.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much.